Can you be trusted? In a world full of broken promises and shifting standards, Jesus calls his people to something higher, radical integrity. In today's episode, we're diving into what Jesus says about keeping your word. It's challenging, it's countercultural, and it might just be the wake-up call we all need. Stick around, you do not want to miss this episode. Here on the Pastor's Potluck Podcast, our goal is to encourage you and maybe in the process, entertain you. If you're ready, let's dig in. Welcome to another episode of the Pastor's Potluck Podcast. I was just telling you, I was like, I don't know how to open this. And I think I do know how to start this podcast. And I think that, and we could start this over if you want. But earlier today, I asked you, I was like, man, I was thinking about you on the drive up here today. And you were like, that's weird. And I was like, no, not weird at all. And I was totally being serious. If someone was to come up and offer a hair transplant, and not to be mean, because, you know, I know genetics and stuff like that. And some people want hair and some people are upset with their situation, and you are not.
No, I wish I had less hair. I want it to completely stop growing. Yeah. I've asked people about it genuinely, and they said you have to have
like a laser,
like laser or something, which of course I'm not going to do that, but I'm tired of shaving it. I just want it to be permanently bald. Because I have a nice bald head. You know, we talked about this at lunch. Some people, like, they look like something out of the movie Alien. When they have a bald head. It's like, no, we don't want
like
that.
A kid that like has been like sitting in their chair or laying down for too long and they've got like a flat spot.
I've got like a nice shaped bald head, so I'm cool with it. And I
no
love not
spots.
having to mess with my hair. Like, the only thing I do with my hair all week long, Sunday morning while I'm getting ready for church, I shave my head. It takes probably 3 minutes. I do it with a razor, and then I'm done for the week. You know, so if you ever catch me on Saturday, like, a bunch of this around the sides will be kind of grown in.
I know. But like, I tried to get you to pause a week.
I did that actually accidentally a couple Sundays ago. It went off. Nobody even noticed, really. But I forgot to shave my head. I got up. I was super tired one morning. This was like in the last month and a half or so. And I got in the car halfway to church with Megan, and I'm like feeling my head, and I was like, oh my word.
I didn't
didn't
cut my hair.
Shave my head. Like, what was I thinking? So I'm going to look a mess up on stage. And not one person mentioned it to me all Sunday that they noticed that I hadn't shaved. Sometimes by Saturday, it like the horseshoe will grow in pretty strong. Other times, I guess not. Right now, I know everyone that I've said this to is like, I can't see it. I missed like half of my head right up on the
I can see it now
with the lights. You can see the little blonde hair. I missed most of it. It was like this on Sunday, and nobody saw it. No, I don't really want to. I like being bald. I like getting a tan on my head. I don't want to wear gel.
If I lose any more, if it starts going back, like, I've already tried to like convince Erica to just let me just like buzz it like super short. Just because like my widow's peaks. She's like, oh, it's not getting any bigger. I'm like, yeah, it is.
We'll see.
Well, my grandfather on both of my sides, their hair was like super thin, like up until like halfway on their head, and then it kind of went back. My uncle, my mom's brother, my uncle Larry, he was like super bald, like super bald.
Well, hold on to it for as long as you can, if you want it. I don't know. I don't want it.
I'm tired of fixing it.
That's because I started hearing, like, one podcast that I would listen to, what is it, advertisement for Keeps or whatever it is. It's like a pill or something you can take to regrow your hair. No, I don't want to do that. I have to start putting gel in my hair again.
Dude, what if it backfires and like your shoulders start like growing like really long hair?
I'm like, right now, I don't have to go pay for a haircut. I haven't paid for a haircut in forever.
Like, over a decade?
No, because we were actually showing the kids last week this past weekend it got brought up that I used to have hair and my kids couldn't believe it. Yeah. So I was showing them pictures. Actually, when they were little, I had hair.
Oh, that's funny.
And so I was still holding on to it in like 2013, 2014. So yeah, it probably has been close to a decade since I went to get a haircut.
Yeah.
I've gone places and let them buzz my head because I was out and about or whatever. Or like when we were on our cruise last September, I had forgotten to shave my head like for a week or so.
Yeah. My
beard was out of control, and then I'm on this ship and I really wanted my head to get tan. So I like booked an appointment for them to straight razor my head at the salon on the ship.
Was that good?
Yeah. Plus they had to clean up my beard. It was a mess. So I was like, here we are getting all these nice, time with our family, and so we're taking photos. And I looked literally like it looked like they brought a homeless person on their family trip. So I was like, I got to get this taken care of.
Yeah.
So I went and so outside of that, and maybe one other random time that I just popped in somewhere, was like, can you shave this really quick?
Yeah.
I haven't paid for a haircut in over a decade.
Wow.
Which is awesome, because if you get your haircut once a month, you're into it for $500-$600.
So I got my haircut a couple weeks ago, and they were like, the place I go, they always print off the receipt, and it tells you what you got the last time. They say you want the same haircut as last time. I don't know. It's been so long. And she said, yeah, the last time that you were here was like 2 months ago. I said, yeah, I'm tired of paying $35 for a stupid haircut.
And I know people that do it like every week.
2 weeks.
No, every week.
Yeah, that's insane.
Sometimes probably multiple times a week.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of money.
I just don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I'm married. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, my wife likes my bald head.
Yeah.
So that's crazy work, paying hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So yeah, no, I have no interest in going back.
I don't know it depends on like how much I lost, but it would be a tough sell for me to go like all the way, like you are, like you're like all the way.
Yeah, I own it.
Because
my dad has had the horseshoe like my whole life.
Yeah.
And I've always vowed I'm not doing that, because I could grow it. I could grow the horseshoe.
Yeah.
I could still grow it decently on top if I really, really wanted to. But, like, this is how I want to look. This is my look.
Yeah. It's a good look.
Yeah. It works for me.
I commend you.
Nice.
Sticking with it.
It's nice and easy to take care of. That's all I ever wanted.
Yeah.
So I had wild hair all growing up.
Well, you could just use your loofah. Like, whenever you're in the shower, it's just, like, it's head to toe loofah.
Yeah. Like, when I was growing up, my hair was very difficult to deal with. Yeah. It was somewhat curly. And when I would grow my hair out, I always wanted to grow it down. I wanted, like, a ponytail or, that, like, Fabio look. My hair doesn't grow down. It grows out like a chia pet. So my hair only ever got thick. So my hair was really frustrating my whole life. Like, if I wanted to try to do to my hair what other people did to their hair, it just never worked. It was too thick.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm happy. I'm very happy with the bald look.
Yeah.
Yeah, bald and beautiful. That's what they say.
Well,
that's what my wife says. So.
Hey, as long as she's happy, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I don't think my kids would know what to do if I came home with hair implants.
Yeah. I don't know what the staff would do if you came up with hair implants. But
it's a good transition to our talk today.
Yeah.
Because we're jumping into the next part of the Sermon on the Mount, and we're talking about how Jesus people need to be people that can be trusted.
Yeah.
And if I came home with a toupee on,
that's untrustworthy.
That would be I would look very untrustworthy. Actually, I think everyone with a toupee looks a little untrustworthy, if we're being honest. Like, what, you are hiding something, bro. Like,
yeah,
you are trying to deceive us. So,
yeah, I like how Jesus is like taking like these topics that we're going through.
Yes,
and it's almost kind of like whenever we were talking about the NCD study and the book that we were going through, they're important as individuals, like, and they can stand alone with, like with lust and all these other different things, but combined all together, like they all work together.
Everything
they
works
have
together.
To.
Yes.
And that's one of the things I found that was like super interesting as I was studying for this. I was like, man, this is kind of like our NCD, and I wonder if I'm sure that we could, but if we put like the adjectives, like in front of all these things.
Yeah, like it really is. So this whole section that we've been talking about, so like 2 weeks ago we talked about anger /murder, and last week we talked about lust and adultery, And this week we're talking about divorce and keeping your vows.
Yeah.
All of that is one big topic in Jesus' teaching on being a trustworthy type person.
Yeah.
Right? Just on being the type of person that shows what God is really like.
Yeah.
And it's about being trustworthy. It's about, like, if you say something, you're going to do it. Like, you're that type of person.
Yeah, it's the let your yes be yes and your no be no.
Yeah, and Christians should be trustworthy people.
Yeah.
And especially nowadays, and, we just talked about this in staff meeting a little bit, in a world right now that it's very difficult to trust people.
Yeah.
Like, Christians, we need to be trustworthy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I wrote this sermon during COVID, and I'm looking at the first couple lines of it, and it was like, how many people are inundated with information, article after article, post after post, news show after news show, press conference after, because this was literally, during COVID, part of my job every week was to watch Jim Justice press conference daily. So I knew how to make decisions on behalf of this church.
Yeah.
So I'm like, information overload. And then, like, you would hear stuff in those press conferences, and then you would go to Facebook or the news, or you'd go to Twitter or whatever it was, and then you'd be getting all this different information, and you would get so much information. Like, one person says, "Oh, you got to do this," another person says, "You can't do that." And it was like just during a time period where it was like, who can I actually trust?
Yeah. And
it's still like that. We never healed from that part of COVID, to be honest. And my guess is what all it is kind of shown a light is that it's always been like that. Yeah. And I was just too young and naive to know that. But, like, even to this day, like, if you find something that's really trustworthy, it's almost remarkable. Yeah. Right? Because, like, we're recording this right now. And again, I am not a super political person by any means. But I do think there's some relevant things happening in our culture. Like, right now, when it comes to what's happening in Los Angeles, there's two very distinct narratives that's going on based on who you voted for. Yep. And so I think the average person is just going, I just want to know, who can I actually trust? Yep. Who can I actually trust? Like, this is a week after the big breakup between Elon and Trump. Yeah. And again, we're going, okay, why did he leave? I thought they were on the same side of things, and now he left. And who do I trust? Who do I trust? Do I trust what he's saying about this? Do I trust what Trump's saying? Like, all of us in every area of life are just wondering, who can I actually trust? And I think that's honestly one of the reasons why there's so many people that are flocking to churches right now. Yeah. Because it's on the rise, man. It's not just happening here where we are experiencing growth at Southridge Church. Like, it's happening all over the place. Yeah. People want something that's transcendent. They want something that they can trust. They want to know, like, when you speak, you're not going to change your mind next week on what the advice you gave me. You're not going to, based on who you're around, going to change your idea. Like, that's what people are looking for right now.
People are desperate, and they're tired of being misled.
Because that distrust for institutions that started probably over the last couple of decades, just the erosion of trust in some of our foundational institutions, including the church, and some of that the church well deserves, if we're being honest, is like, that's why people are flocking. I'm researching right now because I'm talking about listening to Jesus and the role that Scripture plays in that. I did the research this morning. Bible usage is up.
That's amazing.
It's up, and it's like continuing to go up year after year. Yeah. Which is unreal because, we've been told for the last 2 decades, everything spiritual is on the decline. Yeah. Everything spiritual is on. Bible usage is up. Like, up to 41% of Americans read their Bible at least 3 times a year. I know that 3 times a year isn't real impressive, but think of 41% of Americans are, and that's up, that's amazing. Yeah. Because when you go, it went from 38% to 41% from 2024 to 2025. Yeah. That 3% represents 10 to 11 million people read their Bible. Yeah. That's unreal. Yeah. People are looking for something that can be trusted, and that's why I'm telling you, if you're a pastor listening to this, if you're a Christian listening to this, if you're a leader listening to this, people want people that can be trusted. Yeah. That's what all of this is about. Jesus talks about divorce. here, and he's saying whoever divorces his wife and all this. And we just talked about divorce. I think we talked a little bit about it last week, if I'm not mistaken. But I also just had a sermon plus an extra point on it, so I'm not going to dive into it. But the whole point is that marriage is a covenant. And when you say that this is till death do us part, if you're a Christian, you need to mean that. Yeah. You need to mean that because that makes you a trustworthy person. Yeah,
I just want to kind of plug that just for a second.
Yeah.
So if you go to the Southridge Church YouTube channel, or you can find it through by going to src.life and finding it that way and clicking on the sermons tab. Pastor Scott preached a sermon series called The Adventures of Selfish and Stupid, the trilogy, and covered and talked about a lot of marriage topics, relationship topics, and what the Bible says, and presented those truths in a way that was super challenging for just not only for the church, but myself as well, and how do I continue to maintain a healthy relationship with my wife. And it was so good. So I just want to encourage people to go and listen to that, even just for the sake of having that knowledge. Even if you still think that your relationship is good, listen to it. Don't get too cocky and naive. We can always be better in those things and in our relationships with our spouse. So.
Yeah, long story short on the topic of divorce, because I really don't want to get too much into it since I've done it so much recently, is yes, God stands against divorce, but he does not stand against divorced people by any means.
Yes.
And so God's not finished with you just because you had a relationship not work out. He's not finished with you just because you were divorced previously. Does he stand against that? Yes. Did we talk about it pretty at length last week about how if we would just do things God's way, it'd be way less painful? Yes, because unfortunately, divorce causes parents to have to share custody, and then people are trying to figure out who's going to watch the kid on this day and who's going to pay for this and who's going to pay for that. And it's just a very messy situation for everyone involved.
Yep.
Yeah. God does not stand against you as a person, but he does stand against it because he knows that divorce leads to pain.
Yeah.
It leads to pain for you. It leads to pain for your friends, for your family. That's why he's against it. He's not just picking on you. He's not, mad at you or whatever it is. He's not being arbitrary in this. He knows divorce leads to pain. That's why he stands against it. I would just go listen to that sermon if you want to hear more on the topic of divorce. But I think the next passage here is something that we should dive deeper into.
Yeah.
And that's the passage on oaths or vows. Mm-hmm. Jesus says, again, you've heard it said, you shall not swear falsely, but shall perform to the Lord what you have sworn. I say, don't take an oath at all, either by heaven, for it's the throne of God, or by earth, for it's his footstool, or by Jerusalem, for the city of the great king. Do not take an oath by your head, for you cannot make one hair white or black. Let what you say simply be yes or no. Anything more comes from the evil one. And here, Jesus is just going, listen, if you're a follower of mine, if you say, yes, I'm going to be there, you need to be there.
Yeah.
If you say, no, I'm not going to be there, don't be there.
Yeah.
Just whatever your yes is, let that stand. Whatever your no is, let that stand. If whatever it is, just be trustworthy. Like if you have a job and you have signed on the dotted line a contract to work that job and you're supposed to be there every morning at 8 a.m., be there at 8 a.m. That's being a trustworthy person. Christians should be the best employees at any business because we should be the most trustworthy people wherever we're at.
Yeah.
Right? If you're supposed to count a drawer, count it. Count it and don't skip steps. Don't fudge the numbers if you're in accounting.
Yeah.
Be trustworthy. If you are in a position where you have people that you lead, be a trustworthy leader. Don't do things that would undermine the trust of the people. Like, that's what Jesus is getting to. Whatever it is, just be a person of integrity. Like, wherever you're at, be a person of integrity. If I say yes, I'm going to, you asked me, hey, can you read those devotionals? Yes, I'm going to read those devotionals.
Yeah.
If we were still sitting here 2 weeks later and I never got to reading those, you go, that's not very trustworthy. Like, I asked you to read those. You said that you would read those, right? When someone asks you to do something, you say, I'm going to do that, then do it.
Yeah.
Be the type of person that when you speak, people listen because they know that you're serious enough to follow it through.
Yeah.
That's Christ-like. Because guess what? Everything Jesus ever said he was going to do, he went and did. He never went back on one thing that he said. He didn't fail on one thing that he ever said. He didn't go, you know what, changed my mind, not going to do that whole coming back again thing, or like whatever it is, whatever he said he's going to do. And if you're made in his image and you're following him, that needs to be true of you also.
Yeah. What about the situations? I mean, this may be, it's obviously in the lines. I think so many times that we get presented with situations, maybe with our kids and stuff, and they say, hey, can we go to the swimming pool? Mm-hmm. And we kind of skirt around the fact of, hey, you know, like, let's just see. Like, is that something along those lines to where we should just make a decision right then and there to where we can live by this, let our yes be yes and let our no be no? Is something as inconsequential as that may seem, it can begin to spill into other areas of our lives, right?
It can. Like, here's what I would say. Just because you said yes doesn't mean that you're always going to be able to faithfully follow through with every single yes that you ever said.
Yeah.
But being a trustworthy person means that the person that you said yes to is going to get a explanation for why that expectation was not met because you're a trustworthy person.
And then that expectation will be met with understanding.
Exactly. So if I tell you, hey, we're going to meet at the gym in the morning at 8:30.
Yeah.
And I get there at 9. And I just show up, get on the treadmill, start walking like nothing happened. You've been there for 30 minutes waiting. You go,
yeah.
What's this guy's problem?
Well, that would
but if I come in and I go, or actually, better yet, not even come in, this whole like newfangled cell phone thing, you know. I text you and I go, I'm sitting in standstill traffic on the interstate. I'm so sorry. Yeah. I'm not going to be able to keep my word to be there at 8:30 like I was going to. I'll be there as soon as I can. Now, all of a sudden, when I walk in, you go, he didn't just stand me up and act like he's too good for me and so my time doesn't matter. I know why it was like that.
Yeah.
You know, so when you're dealing with your kids, if you want your kids to be people of integrity, model that in front of them.
Yeah.
So when my kid comes up to me and goes, hey, can we go get ice cream tonight? Most of the time I'll go, we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you yes or no because I don't know what the night looks like. Truthfully, I don't know how your behavior is going to be able to tell you yes or no. So we'll see is a safe answer to a kid.
Yeah.
But now if I tell my kid yes, I'm going to move heaven and earth to try to say yes because I want them to be the type of people that they grow up to be like that also.
Yeah.
And so if there's a chance that you can't follow through with something, you should give the proper expectations to that person.
Yeah.
That's the other part of just being trustworthy. Honestly, on some level, I want to say this is just what it looks like to be an adult.
Yeah.
But this is not actually how people function by and large.
Yeah.
Like, people are just late all the time. And it just imposes on other people's time as if they're the most important person on the face of the earth.
Yeah.
And I go, that's crazy. Like, to just be like, well, yeah, we live in a world. It would be almost countercultural for someone to always be where they say that they're going to be.
Yeah.
And to be that, like, at the same time that they said that they're going to be there.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine working with someone who every single thing they said that they were responsible for doing that they would do, they actually did it?
Yeah.
That would be crazy to find in a world like this.
Yep.
Like someone that literally they're going to if you say if they tell you I'm on it, you never have to doubt that.
Yeah.
That's hard to find. Mm-hmm. That's really hard to find. And Christians, that should define us.
Yep.
We should be those people. Like in any situation, whatever it is, like you should be able to trust me because I'm a follower of Jesus. You should.
Have you ever been in a situation to where you've weren't able to make a commitment and there was no communication and then you had to like rebuild that trust, or maybe just like talk through the implications of that, because I think so many times we kind of like just say, here's the script, here's the narrative, you know, just like here's your lines, this is what you've got to do, you know, but sometimes there are situations that we go through and where trust is betrayed, where your word doesn't carry as much weight as it used to.
Yeah.
I just want to like kind of break that
by
down.
by and large, and this is not because I am some guy that's got everything spiritually figured out.
Yeah.
By and large, if I say something, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm going to see that through.
Yeah.
The other side of that is in any situation where I feel like I have not met someone's expectations, I am just wired naturally to give them a heads up, give them a reason. Like, I'll never just let them think that I thought that I was too good to follow through on this or whatever it was. Like, and it bothers me greatly because I have worked so hard to become like a trustworthy and reliable person. Like, people that aren't bother me greatly. Yeah. But it also bothers me whenever I do miss the mark. So, like a couple months ago, I was having a baseball practice at 3 o'clock on a Sunday. I preached 2 services that morning. We took a new family out to lunch. After we got home at like 2 o'clock, I did not remember I had baseball practice. I laid down and went to sleep. Oh. Got up. I woke up at 4 o'clock. And I wake up to all these messages on my phone of parents that I've now inconvenienced on their Sunday.
Yeah.
Practice was an hour ago. Where's coach at? He's never done this before. So, like, I wake up, throw all my clothes on, take off over to the field. One of the dads had already started practice, was taking care of things. And there's this moment where we go, I wonder if I could tell them that I thought practice started at 4.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could, like, if I could come up with a good enough. And it's like, no. So they all know what I do for a living. So I went in there. The dads that were all standing around, none of them were my coaches. No coach showed up. Yeah. So these dads were just running this practice for the 4 or 5 kids that showed up. I just walked in and said, guys, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened, but I preached twice this morning. I took a new family out to lunch, and when I got home, I just went to sleep. I just did. Yeah. I'm so sorry that I put you all in that position. Yeah. Doesn't change the fact that I showed up an hour late, but now they know, like, I can still trust this guy because this was just an honest mistake. Yeah. If I just showed up an hour late, ran in there and gone, all right, guys, hit the field, take off running, stretch, let's get going like nothing happened, all those people would be like, yeah, what's wrong with this guy? Yeah. Like, I can't trust this guy. Like, yeah. He shows up an hour late and acts like it's nothing. I can't stand that. Like, if you're gonna say something, you got to be there. You got to do it. Like, yeah. So, I don't think that things like punctuality and things like that. I don't think Christians always think that those are mm-hmm. godly characteristics. Yep. And, like, we have a whole church culture that people show up 15, 20 minutes after service starts. Yeah. I go, I don't get it, man. Yeah. Like, if something starts at 11, I'm there at 10:45, probably 10:30, even if I'm not in charge of it. Like, I'm getting there early. Yeah. So I don't get it. Like, we just live in a culture, though, that it's like, maybe I'll get there, maybe I won't. Yeah. Maybe I'll show up on time, maybe I won't. And since the whole world seems to be all about me, I don't have to be a trustworthy person because I'm the only person that matters anymore. That's probably why Jesus is going, no. If you say yes, let that yes stand. Be a person of integrity, be a person of character, follow through. Do that. If you say no, just let the no. Like, that's the other part. We live in a world, I think, right now that a lot of people don't meet expectations because they're too afraid to say no. Yeah. That they're just too afraid to go, you know what? No, we're not going to do that. Kid comes up to them. Hey, can we go to the swimming pool today? No. We're not going to. We're just not going. I'm not going to tell you we'll see or no, we're not going. Period. We're not going. Somebody comes up, asks, hey, can you stay over for work late tonight? No, I can't. I've got stuff going on. Because just the lack of being able to say no. Yeah. I think we're in a yes. Whether or not we follow through, we're in like a yes culture, and saying no is almost countercultural as well. So that's why Jesus is going, if you say yes, follow through. If you need to say no, just say no. It's not that big of a deal to tell people no. Like, you do have to protect yourself and your family with the word no every once in a while. Yeah. And that's perfectly acceptable.
my next question, I wanted to kind of open up for discussion, and I know that there's been times in my life, I know that there's been times in your life where there's just been a season of confusion and not a whole lot of understanding. I want to just like talk about the importance of like being able to trust in Jesus.
Yeah.
Because I know for me, before I got here, we've talked about it a little bit on this podcast, with situations that I had been in with previous churches. I knew that God had asked me to do something, but I didn't understand why I was going through the circumstances and situations that I had gone through in previous churches, and then COVID-19 happened, and kind of gave me some time to kind of recharge and kind of relax a little bit and just focus on family life and rebuild that area of my life up. And I just remember saying to God, I said, God, if this is something that you really, really, really want for me to continue to do, and you've got to make it clearly evident, but I just want to say that I trust you.
Yeah.
Like, what if you just want me to do, fixing light bulbs and changing out ceiling tiles or whatever, and minor plumbing repair, then cool. Yeah. I'm good with that. But if you want me to get back into ministry, make it evident. But whatever you decide, I trust you. And there was a peace that overcame myself and my wife as we were praying and seeking God. And but it was, has there ever been a situation where you were like, man, I'm so glad that Jesus is trustworthy. Like, I'm so glad that I knew that I could count on him, and whenever nothing else in the world seemed like I could count on.
Yeah, I think for me, there's always been those moments of like doubt or anxiousness and worry and things like that. But I think my perspective towards everything changed the deeper I got into apologetics.
Yeah.
And the more convinced of the Christian faith I became, to where it wasn't just like, oh, I'm a Christian because I was raised in church and my parents are Christians.
Yeah.
That didn't really ever solidify a really deep trust in Jesus. But when I started doing, when I started doing the work myself to like realize how rational it is to believe in the resurrection of Jesus because of all the evidence that's available.
Yeah.
And how rational it is to believe that God did create everything that we see. I think the deeper that I went into my knowledge is what builds trust in a lot of ways. And the deeper I went into those and just became solidified, like, if he did this and he did that, like, it doesn't mean I'm not going to have bad times in life, but it does mean that I can probably trust him regardless. And so it doesn't mean I haven't had low moments, but I know that those things have really solidified in me, kind of like, come what may, I'm kind of okay now.
Yeah.
Again, it doesn't mean I'm not a basket case and anxious and worried from time to time, but like, I do feel stronger now in that sense that I just go, I think if a guy said that he was going to die and rise again, and then there's good historical evidence that he probably did, I'm just going to put trust there and go, whatever it is, it's okay.
Yeah.
He's probably going to, even if things aren't going my way, I have such a deep trust in the Lord that I go, I think that's probably okay too.
Yeah.
Because if he is who he says that he is, and it appears that he is to me, that maybe whatever I'm going through is actually what should be happening for my own good, and we might not get to the same outcome if I got my way in the situation.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's so many times, if I hadn't hit rock bottom or things hadn't gone poorly for me, I might not have made the decisions that I did. To make things right in different ways and to change certain things. So I guess I do think that's been one of the more powerful things. I thought I was studying apologetics to try to help other people in their faith, and on some level that's probably true, but what it did to solidify my faith, to just be like, yeah, I don't like this situation. But I'm really not, I never necessarily lack trust in God. I more just don't want to deal with certain situations.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wish this was different, but like, I am so convinced that this guy died and rose again. Like, I'm going to be fine.
Yeah.
Whether it's in this life or the one to come, like, I think the more that you can grow your knowledge, and as you grow knowledge, you get to know Jesus more intimately, I think that solidifies trust.
Yeah, that's such a good...
I think a lack of trust is really more of an indication of a lack of knowledge and a lack of closeness and a lack of intimacy with the Lord more than anything. I think we say it's a lack of trust, but what we really mean is I don't really know that person.
Yeah.
That's why I don't trust them, because that's my issue in my life. Like, if you call me and I don't know you, I'm not like, nah, you ain't getting nothing out of me, bro. Like, I think that's what we mean.
Yeah.
A lot of times when we go, I just don't know that I can trust God. Like, for me, looking back now, I'd like to flip that on people that say they can't trust God and go, I think you just don't really know him.
Yeah.
I think that you're just not, like, I think that you're giving lip service to faith, but you're not really living out faith, because if you knew him intimately, you'd know he can be trusted.
Yeah. Isn't that so funny? Like, you look at it from like a medical standpoint, and like, I think early on in like a situation or something like that, whenever you just start going to see a doctor, you kind of are leery about it.
Yeah.
But then something catastrophically happens or goes wrong, and then you're like, you know, he proves himself or whatever, or she proves themselves, and you know, like, there's some trust that is established over the little things. And so, like, whenever the big things come along, you're like, okay, I trust their opinion because they've proven themselves, like, over and over again. Like, I can't imagine if, like, I just got hurt like crazy and just had to go to some random doctor and think that they would have the best interest for me, but instead of trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like you hear people talk about, oh, you should go see him. I trust him. Like, you know, he's a good doctor.
Yeah. Trust is all about knowing.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it really is. And so when you say you don't trust God, it is simply because you don't actually know him.
Oh.
That's what it is. And I'm not saying that you're not a Christian. I'm just saying you don't know him on the level that you claim to know him if you're lacking trust. Yeah. And I'm not saying that from some super spiritual thing. I'm just saying in every relationship, trust is built on knowing.
Yep.
I trust my wife because I've known her now for 16 years. Yeah. Like, I know her. We talk all the time. I know what she's about. So I have trust for her. Yeah. The first time that someone walks into this church on a Sunday morning, I don't know them. I don't trust them at all. At all. I don't trust anyone that I don't know. Yeah. That's crazy. If you do, that's foolishness. Utter foolishness. And so, again, when it comes to trusting God, it's all about, if you intimately knew him, you would trust him, because there's nothing about God that's not trustworthy. Yeah. There's no instance where he's ever let anyone down. There's no instance where things have been so out of control that he's not able to calm the winds and the waves. There's no instance. If you really knew him, you could say a lot of things about him, but him being untrustworthy would never be one of them. Yeah. Yeah. Not trusting someone else is simply an indication that you don't know them.
Goodness gracious. That was some stinking truth. That's so good.
Yeah. I hope that's
Thank the Lord for wisdom.
Yeah. I've never said that before.
You need to write that down.
I probably do.
Put it on a plaque.
I've never said it before, but it just occurred to me. Like,
yeah. That's so good.
Because you ever think of the ridiculousness of when people go, I just don't trust God. I'm not trusting God in this situation. I go, yeah. Why? He's a little bit better than you are. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I think if anything, God shouldn't be trusting you, to be honest. Like, it's just an arrogant statement for us to go, I'm not really trusting God right now. And you go, I think his track record's better. I would find some way to trust him.
Yeah. I would not. Just don't share that with many more people, please.
Yeah. It's like, don't say that.
Don't get on Facebook and post that nonsense.
I'm having trouble trusting the Lord, and you go, well, have you ever tried talking to him? Like yeah. I feel like I'm getting to the part of my life and relationship with the Lord where anytime someone tells me something's wrong, I just go, have you been praying and reading the Bible?
Yeah.
Because I know that they told me that growing up, and I thought that was the stupidest advice ever. And somehow the more I do it, the closer to Jesus I get, and the more peace and calm I experience in my heart. And I go, I can't believe they were right the whole time.
Yeah. These old people were onto something.
In fact, it makes me so mad how right they were the whole time. It's like, that's why I'm spending 10 weeks on prayer. I'm like, I can't believe how right they were.
Yeah.
It's so. I was hoping that would be a different answer. I've known it all along. Like, me and the Lord have had those conversations. Hey, if you would just make this a priority, things would get better. I go,
I know.
Because my natural inclination is to be lazy.
Yeah.
Like, it just is. Like,
I think we all are.
Yeah, like, I just don't want to do. It's not that I have a problem with prayer and Bible reading. I just don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, the more I've done it, the better it gets. And I'm like, I can't believe they were right.
Yeah.
The whole time.
It's just like somebody giving you like a supplement for like your physical health.
Yeah.
And then you start taking it. Like whenever all this stuff was going around, they're like, you got to take this vitamin D and with the K2s and all that. Yeah. And then you're just like, man, I'm super skeptical about that. But then you start taking it like once a day. And you're like, wow, I feel actually a lot better.
It's even more elementary than that. It's more like all the people forever that have gone, if you'll just burn more calories than you eat, you'll be healthy and lose weight. And you go,
yeah.
And they're like, you know what I'd rather try? I'd rather try Mounjaro.
Yeah.
I'd rather try the keto diet. And it's like, seriously, all studies just show if you'll just eat less and burn more, and then you do it, and you're like, daggone it, they were right again. It's those simple things that we fight against. Yeah. That it feels like, man, is there not a different way to do it? It's like, no, man, it's just the grind. Just go to exercise and eat some daggone lettuce. Like, that's what it is.
We often do look for the easier way out for things, and we substitute prayer and Bible reading for, not that there's anything wrong with this. It's just like there's nothing wrong with the keto diet or anything else like that, but it's not the right. It's not it like that could be a supplement to what needs to happen. We can't just sit there and go, well, I'm not going to pray and read my Bible. I'm going to listen to Christian radio and a couple podcasts a week. Yeah. No, like you need to carve out time to like that other stuff is good.
Yeah. Those things will feed you a little bit.
But you need to open up the book. Yeah. And you need to get down and find a spot to where you could just be alone and pray.
Yeah, it feels so weird to be such a homer about these things now.
I haven't heard that phrase in a while.
I know, it feels so weird because I always was like, it's got to be something else, man. Yeah. It's got to be something else. It's like, it's really not. It's that simple.
It was just weird that you said it.
Talk to Jesus and listen to Jesus.
Yeah. It was just weird that you said it and you were just talking about being bald and your little blonde hairs. All right. Yeah. That was a good full circle moment. Time for our mystery meat. If your pet suddenly became human for a day, what would they probably try to do first?
I think at least Bert
go outside,
probably punch Landon in the face.
Really?
Yeah. Listen, let me just tell you, my son loves them freaking cats. Yeah. Like, loves them. Yeah. But he does not know how to handle those cats. So he will irritate the life out of them. Like the cartoon of the little girl that's got the cat and he's just dragging it around. He's got his head in a headlock. Yeah. That's Landon with our cats. Yeah. And he's been scratched all over the face multiple times because he loves these cats so much.
But he's not gentle with them.
He's not gentle with them.
Loving way.
So there's a chance that they might all have a score to settle with him if they had the chance. But it is kind of sweet because he loves those cats so much. And I hate it because we literally have to be like, dude, listen, stop touching the cats. Yeah. Because they're going to light you up. Yeah. Like, he's been chased around our house by one of them, like, to get scratched up and stuff. Like, those cats don't do that to anybody except for him.
I feel like that would be the same thing with Nolan, and I wonder if it has to do with like the ADHD.
I don't know,
because like Nolan does the same thing. He'll walk up, and we have these big Great Danes. I mean, their heads are just as big as ours, and they'll just be sleeping. And I've always told the kids, if the dogs are sleeping, leave them alone.
Yeah.
Don't do anything. Don't try to wake them up. Just let them be. And he'll walk up and like literally grab them by the cheeks, and he's like, "Oh, I love you," and they're like, "Rrr." He's got a scar on his cheek from one of our dogs that passed away because he likes the dogs. He likes being around them. He enjoys having them as pet, but he just doesn't know how to like.
He does, yeah. It's so funny. Like when he's holding one of our cats, you can just hear the meowing and like they're so mad. I'm like, buddy, I know he loves those cats so much.
Yeah,
but I'm like, watch what all the rest of us do with them. Like we just let them sit with us.
Yeah.
We don't pick him up and irritate him. He just loves them so much, and he can't help himself. So I imagine one of the first things they would do is want to settle some scores.
Yeah.
Maybe pick him up by his head a couple times.
Yeah.
They probably would like to go outside. We have all indoor cats, so our cats have never really been outside, actually, unless Luna spent the night on the porch one of the first nights she was with us.
Yeah.
Because she bolted out when we opened the door. We had no idea. Could not find her until the next day. Looked all over the house, couldn't find her. We're like, what in the world? And we go open the door. She laid on the front porch all night long.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
That's a good cat, though.
This is when she was like maybe days, maybe weeks old. So she didn't leave our porch somehow.
That's insane. Or nothing else came and got her.
Yeah, she should have ran away. She just laid there all night. We got her back. She had a rough first month. She slept outside one night. She put herself in our dryer and got her ear burnt.
You threw some clothes in there and
she snuck in there, started it. Now, my grandmother killed 6 cats like that. I'm not joking. 6 cats.
I don't mean to laugh, but that is absurd.
She did. We got my great aunt a cat for some holiday. This is, when my grandmother is in her 60s. Yeah. She's over there helping my great aunt, who's probably in her 80s. She fries her cat in her dryer doing her laundry. So Luna snuck in, and the dryer's going, and Megan's like,
sounds like a shoe is in there.
I hear meowing coming from the dryer, and I'm like, oh my gosh, go get her. Thankfully, she wasn't in there very long, but it did singe a little bit of the edge of her ear. She still has like a little burn spot on there.
That's insane.
She had a rough first month with us, and now she knows. Don't go outside. Don't get in the dryer. It's not going to go good for you. So, yeah, I'd say that I'm going to go with that. They'd want to settle some scores with Landon for getting picked up by their head constantly.
Dude, what if they could talk to you? What do you think the thing would talk about? Oh, hey, tell him to quit picking us up that way?
Yeah. Bert would probably not. Bert has the same personality as me.
He cuss?
He would. He just wants to be left alone. That's all. He wants to be around people, which I do.
But I don't want to talk.
But he wants to be left alone. It's like, I'll tell Megan, I want you to go with me.
Yeah.
If I'm going somewhere, and then she'll get in the car, and then she'll start talking, I'll go, I'm sorry, I think maybe you misunderstood. I just want you to ride with me. I don't really want to talk. Bert is that way. Bert comes and sits with me on the couch.
Yeah.
I can give him, a little bit of, pets.
Hey, I acknowledge that you're here. Yeah.
But if not, he's just going to sit there.
Yeah.
He does not want to be bothered. Reese and Luna do not come around. If you take a step in their direction, they're running. So they would probably just continuously say, listen, leave us alone.
Yeah.
So maybe all my cats are like me. I don't know. But I love them so much.
Yeah.
They're so much better than dogs.
Yeah.
Ha, you said it.
No, you knew that I was going to say yeah to that. I like animals. I'm just allergic to cats. That's all it is.
I'm allergic to dogs.
No, you're not.
I'm not, but I hate them so much.
You hate them because you had a terrible experience with dogs.
Yes, but now I hate all of them. They're all so obnoxious to me.
Oh, no, they're great.
I hate them.
I mean, they don't have bad days.
They do if they see me. I don't like dogs at all.
Yeah.
If you have a dog at your house, please don't invite me over.
Yeah. I'm kind of like, I love my dogs, but they're too big. And I told Erica, I said, whenever these dogs pass away, like, we're just going to get like little tiny ones that just want all the love and affection, and they're not going to try to kill you.
Dog. Like, the whole letting them out and then they poop in your yard.
Oh, that's okay.
No, it's not.
But why would?
What are you going to do in your yard filled with all those landmines? Exactly, you can't even go out into your yard. When we moved, we had this big backyard.
Yeah.
But we had a dog.
Yeah.
So we would want to go out there and pass baseball or something, but you couldn't because there was landmines everywhere.
Yeah.
I was like, this is so dumb. Guess what? Now we can go out and enjoy our whole backyard because there's no dew anywhere. Because cats just know how to use the bathroom.
Well, you got to clean up after them.
I don't, but yeah, someone does. But I definitely don't step in it. I'll tell you that much.
I don't either.
Dude, everybody has stepped in dog doo at some point in their life, and that's why dogs suck.
I have stepped in more dog poop outside of my backyard because Nolan goes outside with like the little shovels and just likes to fling it into other areas of the yard. I'm like, dude, he's just so ADHD. I'm trying to get him to settle down.
I'm out on it, dude. If you do it in my yard, I'm so mad. I'm so mad.
I'm gonna come and leave you some.
Oh, I'm so mad. Dude, we're dealing with a snake right now in our backyard.
I'll come get it for you.
If I see that sucker, I've already got my axe out. I'm taking it to it. The kids cannot wait. Everyone is on snake alert right now. Every time we walk out back, yeah, we're looking. I'll go home and doing a lap every time I get home.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I don't like snakes one bit.
Yeah.
And if I see it, I'm probably going to freak out a little bit, but I am going to chop that thing's head off if I get the chance.
Do it. Take a picture. I want to see.
It's just a big black snake. And I know black snakes are good to keep other poisonous snakes away. It's probably because we live close to a river.
Yeah.
So it's probably eating up all the mice and all that stuff too. But still, we found a big old snake skin in our backyard on Memorial Day. And I was like
4 foot long or something like that?
Yeah. I was like, nah, I'm not down with this. I don't want no snake just hanging out in my backyard because I feel like eventually when it gets cold, that sucker's going to try to find his way inside, and then we're going to have problems.
Yeah, Erica the other day, she was like, we should get a snake for a pet. I said, absolutely not.
That's crazy. Let's get out of here with that.
As cool as I like to pet snakes, I think it's because I like the way they feel. It's interesting. First off, they stink to high heavens.
Oh, no. Snake's nasty.
Dude, I got to keep dead mice in my refrigerator until it's time to feed them? No.
I don't want to hold them or nothing.
No.
Belinda used to get me to try to hold snakes when we went to the Creation Museum and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
No. I hate a snake. I hope he's out when I get home. I'm chopping his head off.
Yeah. Good. Do it.
I can't wait.
Oh, well, we appreciate y'all sticking with us to the end of this episode. We hope that y'all have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next Friday for another one. Thank you so much for listening in with us today. We really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You can also follow us on social media, on Facebook, Instagram. You can also watch the video version of this on YouTube as well. All you have to do is search up the Pastor's Potluck Podcast. From all of us here, we want to say thank you, and we'll see you next week.